Okay, hopefully this is working. When I tell you guys how difficult it is for me to record a podcast, to get everything set up, everything sorted, I understand and appreciate that right now I've got my little viewfinder here. The exposure is so high and I don't know how to fix that, but it's because I'm using my phone to record this video. I've had to get a spare phone to use while I'm talking with all my prompts and shit like that. I haven't written any prompts, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I did try and make an episode yesterday, and I completely crashed out because I spent ages trying to sort everything out, make it all look nice in my room, which it is. I've moved it all about and whatever. And then I sat there for 40 minutes talking, getting off to, oh, this is good. I've actually got so much to tell you guys about everything that. Then I checked to look back at the recording, and it wasn't fucking recording. So obviously I'm insane right now just talking to a camera, obviously, but like this was double insane because the camera wasn't even recording, so I'm just talking for 40 minutes. And I wanted to end my life in that instant. But I thought, okay, well, let's switch it up. We'll go in the kitchen because then I can have a smoke down here. And I've got food. Because I've got food, so I can cook if I want to cook. This is fantastic. Anyway, this has been really stressful. Ever since I started recording these podcasts, and I'm going to roll myself a cigarette. Please excuse me. Ever since I started recording these podcasts, also I have to apologise for the mic levels. This microphone is old and I still don't know how to figure it out, or how to use it. I know how to use it, but like I can't adjust it to get it bang on. Anyway, ever since I've been starting to make these podcasts, or made that one podcast, sorry, because I talk like I've made loads. I haven't. I've only made one. I posted a little clip of it on this new TikTok account that I had made. I'm going full blown into this podcasting shit. I mean, I was ready. And I got a lot of people obviously like it and comment on it, not like crazy amounts, but obviously everyone that I knew. So I was like, okay, I've just got to suck it up, because if you want to make a living out of this, which I don't want to, by the way, I just want to make this clear, then you've just got to suck it up, Connor. So lo and behold, I go out to the Garrisons, which is my local club, and I get recognised. Oh my God, you popped up on my TikTok. No, I didn't. That was someone else. Genuinely someone else. That was not me. That was AI. Actually. Anyway, yeah, and then ever since that, because I ended up taking it down because I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm not making any more, and it's just embarrassing, like the video sitting there or whatever. A bit of ASMR for you. I went to my local Spoons, and then some of my mates walked in, and obviously we're all pissed as farts. Connor, when you're making the next podcast episode, when you do, and they actually sounded genuinely interested. They weren't taking the piss. I hope not. If you're watching this, I didn't think you were taking the piss. But to explain my position just a little bit more, because I make such a mess every time I roll a cigarette, it's embarrassing. I am only doing this for my sake, no one else's. I was watching a podcast. This is how it all started off. I don't know if I spoke about this in the first episode that I made. But I'm watching a podcast and I get pissed off that because I've got so much to say. No, can I just stop you there? So I end up pausing the fucking TV to say what I need to say. Then I thought to myself, why don't I just make my own one? And here I am. If you wouldn't mind. ASMR. I don't know if you heard anything. But anyway, so yeah, I was like, why don't I just make my own one? So this is kind of like therapy for me, because I've got so much to get out of my head, and just out of my head, full stop. And this is that. I can just talk a load of shit, so that's fun. Also, I don't want to edit all this shit, so you will see me like reaching over and stopping shit, because I'm not fucking fussed. I don't fucking care, whatever. Anyway, so much has happened since the last time we spoke. I'm speaking to a fucking camera. Just pretend I have followers for a moment. I'm acting like my last video didn't get like 10 views. But I don't remember. I'm doing this for me. Anyway, last time I spoke a lot about uni and how I was really annoyed with uni, and I was like, oh, I should have gone up north, I should have gone out, and blah, blah, blah. And as much as I still think that, I couldn't believe how strongly I felt looking back. Alright, okay, that's all you out. Yes, I couldn't believe how strongly I felt. But I think that's because, obviously, it was the first trimester that I was studying. And I have to say, even looking back retrospectively, it was not good. I was actually really quite dishevelled by the lack, or the quality of teaching was horrendous, by the way. And I understand now, okay, in some senses, it was introductory. It was to kind of ease us in, make us feel better. What I will say is I am okay with it now. Like, obviously, I'm not exhilarated. Not me trying to expand my vocabulary. I'm not like crazy. Oh my God, I love university. I love uni life, because I actually hate it. I hate it so much, but I love that I hate it, if that makes sense. We'll explain. I've got room. I'm talking like the words are running away, like I've got no time, but I can breathe. What was I saying? That's it. So where people are like obviously adapting to this independence, I said this is the first time, they've got all these new people around them, accommodation, new thing. By the way, I can't deal with the frame lag. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to fix that. Yeah, they've got all these new people. Oh, it's bright and it's brand new, and you know what I've realised? I'm actually okay. No, I'm not okay. Well, I don't know. I had a moment there. I had a wave of happiness there for a second, which is shocking because I haven't felt that in a long time. I'm crumbling apart. No, what I mean is, yeah, so I haven't got that experience. And I feel like, as I said the first time around, I've robbed myself of that experience. But one of the things that I value so much in education is doing the actual work, is actually studying. The thing that was getting me excited about going to university was knowing that I would be studying for shitloads of hours with things I can't wrap my head around, and I love that. When I was in college and we did physics, maths, further maths, chemistry, whatever I did, that was so fun, doing long fucking 8-hour study periods in the fucking libraries, in the pubs, and just sweating it out, all-nighters. Oh, I loved it. I'm such a slow smoker. And I think that because I was missing that in the first trimester, that's what was getting me so down in the dumps. Obviously coupled with the fact that it was in my local city, one that was not far from me at all. Same faces, kind of. Obviously you meet new people, absolutely. And it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's not the best thing. It's not the hardest thing to get into at all. I could have done so much better, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What's done is done. I can't change the past. Shut up, Connor. Anyway, this trimester has been packed with really difficult maths, really difficult shitloads of work. The workload is crazy. And I'm loving the struggle, to be entirely honest with you. I'm enjoying hating it, if that makes sense. What I will say is the employment aspect. Ooh. What's a guy got to do to get a job? This is crazy. I left my work December time because, or the pub that I was working at, it was not atrocious. Well, it was atrocious. Actually, it was disgraceful. And I get it. I get hospitality is hard because I've worked there in hospitality for 2 years now, coming up, just over, in the service industry, as you could call it. And I get it's difficult, and I can tolerate a lot. I've had people shout, swear, everything that everyone goes through when they deal with it or whatever. I've had bad managers, all this sort of thing, and I've dealt with that fine, so fine. But it gets to a point, and there was one day I was because I'm not an anxious person, far from it. Don't get anxious. I never have felt anxious. I've never worried about things in that kind of way. As such, I've kind of gone, just fucking suck it up and do it. Well, I would find that I'd be driving into work going, actually getting palpitations, and I thought, oh my God, I am getting anxious. How am I letting this building with these people in it make me anxious terrible. And then that's when I'm like, nope, you can fuck off. Not a fucking chance I'm staying there. And actually, that wasn't even what pushed me over the edge. Don't get me wrong, the customers were awful. Not all of them. I loved my customers. A lot of them were really, really lovely and knew me quite well. For some reason, I don't know if it was just my pub. Maybe it was, because it was poorly managed. We had a few ups and downs and issues that weren't any of the team's faults or anything like that. But it would cause us to have a large number of just twatty, fucking horrible arseholes. I don't know if it's the area that we were in. I don't know. And like I say, I can deal with it. I started off at the start of the job. It was being really, really professional, and I'd always be professional. I kept it professional always. And obviously I was strict with customers. I wouldn't ever let them be disrespectful or rude. But as it got to the end, I'd find myself losing my fucking temper with them. And I just wouldn't even... There was one lady... So I'm going to put my cigarette down. No, I'm going to hold it. She was asking where her roast dinners were, and I said, don't get me wrong, she was waiting about 20 minutes, which is with the expected time that it takes for the mains to come out. Absolutely. I reminded her of that. I said, it does usually take 20 minutes. I said, let me just check up for you, all right? And the kitchen staff weren't locking in, and it was fucking me off, because when they give up, then I have to deal with the fucking shit at the front. I'm not saying that their job's not hard. I'm not saying it's not stressful. I get it. But in this case, they were just being dickheads, and they were getting my tits. So she goes, I come out. I said, I'm really sorry. The chef has told me it's going to be 10 minutes. I said, I'm not sure if you want to wait. It's entirely up to you guys. I said, I can bring you to my manager if you do not want to wait and you're unhappy with it. Already overcompensating. I don't need to do that. She can wait the fucking 10 minutes. Makes me so angry. So anyway, she goes, well, I'll put a timer then. I'll say 10 minutes. All right, if it's not out in 10 minutes, that's it. We're going. Fine. That's absolutely fine. So I said, I let the kitchen staff know. I said, guys, she's put a timer on. I said, you need to get your asses into gear. And I would tell him, I'd say, guys, you need to do it. Otherwise, I'm sending you out there to fucking deal with her. Anyway, as I come out, her alarm had just gone off. I kid you not. Because she was literally we had the swinging doors where you go in and out of, and her table was right there. And I had the 2 roast dinners in my hand, dummy waiters on the side, just to make this example stand out. So I'm walking out. She stops her phone, looks up at me. We have been waiting 10 minutes for our food. I told you I'd set a timer. This is ridiculous. It's now been half an hour. I told you, blah, blah. She's proper bollocking me, like shouting. Everyone, we've got like 100 customers in the fucking pub at this point, in the restaurant, looking at me right now. These guys looking at me as they're coming in. She's standing in front of me, absolutely fucking bollocking me. And at that point, and don't get me wrong, people have shouted at me before, and I've gone, oh, namaste, because I don't really give a shit. And I never have given a shit. When they're angry or pissed off, at the end of the day, I clock off at 5. I don't fucking care, as long as I've done my part. And I tell him, I go, listen, and not that I throw anyone under the bus. I don't. That if they haven't done a good job in the kitchen, or if they have fucked up the Yorkshire puddings, I will absolutely turn around and go, yep, I'm really sorry, that does not look right at all. I completely agree with you. That's not me kiss-arsing. If you fucked up a Yorkshire pudding and it looks like shit, then it looks like shit. I am not going to lie about that. It looks like shit. If I got that, I'd be so fucking angry. They'd get a hiding from me. Anyway, but this was just... I think I was at the end of my tether or whatever. I didn't even shout at her. I didn't even have a go at her or anything like that. I just held it. I put the food down and I said, are you finished? She kept going. I said, are you finished? She kept going. I said, your food's there. I said, I'm not going to come over until you stop shouting at me. And she went on and on and on. And I literally sat there and standing there, nodding my head. Anyway, so she's going, bring us the food then. Bring us the food. So I picked the food. So I walked over. Right. So she kept going. Sorry, I'm getting into it like I'm reliving it. She kept going on. I said, hold on. Who has got the roast beef? Right, you. Right, roast chicken, whatever like that. Right, I said, listen, before you carry on, how dare you? I said, you do not shout at me. I did not cook your food. I have been in there having a go at them guys, trying to get their asses into gear. I have done nothing but help you. I get paid £10 an hour. I said, the way you just spoke to me in front of everyone was disgraceful. And she was going, she put her head down, she was going, but she was an older lady. She goes, oh, no, I am sorry. I am sorry. It's just, I said, I get it. I said, I get it. You are waiting. You are hungry. I completely understand. And I agree with you. you. I said, you're taking it out on the wrong person. And I get you need to prove a point as well for things to get done. I said, I get some waiters are very, very complacent and they don't. I said, but not me. I said, I'm helping you and you can see I'm helping you. All right, it's not necessary. Anyway, she apologised or whatever. I said, once again, I apologise, guys. I said, I shouldn't be speaking to you the way I just did there. I should have been more professional, blah, 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 blah. Or whatever. I said, please enjoy your meal. I'll go speak to the manager and I'll get you some free desserts. I said, because I understand that you're pissed off. Then I went to the manager, sorted them out free desserts. And she was really, really lovely. She probably just had a really bad day. And I don't know why I told you that story, because actually it's the most boring story ever in the whole wide world. But I get it. And like I say, it's not my pub. I might work there, but they don't give a shit about me. So if it's free desserts or free drink or whatever, I will always ask. It's no money off my back. It's money off the fucking pub's back. Anyway, point of the story. I'd had enough. It gets to a point. Listening to that every fucking day was doing my fucking head in. And then not only that, being spoken to like shit by your other staff members, and you think, yeah, fuck off, especially the older ones, speaking to me, do you know how to do percentages, Connor? Yes, I do know how to do percentages. Maybe she thought I just didn't. So I said, yeah, I do, yeah. And then she says, okay, can you help me out with this? So I said, yeah, of course I can. So I helped her or whatever. I said, right, it was 40% off £1,600. I said, times it by 0.4. And then I said, well, times it by 0.6, times it by 0.4, and then take away from that. No, that's not right. Okay. I said, no, it is, okay, just do it like that. Then she turned, this woman, I was saying it to, turned to one of the customers that was standing behind the bar. How do you do it? So he explained it to her. Well, I think you got to do this, divide it by 10, times it by 4. He was kind of on the right track, but he was wrong in the end. I said, no. I said, seriously, I almost just said her name. Seriously, I said, just times it by 0.6 if you want 40% off, all right? Or times it by 0.4 and then take it away from the original amount. Then this geezer went, what would you know? Why are you asking him? I said, I don't know. Guys, I'm studying A-level maths and further maths. I'm about to do an engineering degree, you thick fucks. Nothing against him, because the woman isn't a dumb girl or dumb person, not girl. But this is what they would do to all of the younger staff, my friends, my colleagues. They would treat them like they were fucking thick, and I knew exactly what they were. Smart kids. Anyway, adults, not kids, are 18. Sorry, I had to get it off my chest. Anyway, the employment situation right now is awful. So, can't find anywhere. I don't really want to find anywhere. I can live off my maintenance loans. No, I can't actually. I can't afford. Maybe next year I can, but right now I've got to pay off my laptop and shit like that. And I'm enjoying it, which is fantastic, I suppose. Well, fucking know. Anyway, what was I saying? So, yep, uni, cool. That's okay. Work, not okay. Drinking, ooh, I think I've got a problem. Every fucking weekend I'm going out, sometimes in the middle of the week, when I don't have the money to spend at all. Like, one point I had 54 pennies, 0.54 GBP in my bank account, and I'm still coming home smashed out of my fucking arsehole. And I think that's because somehow people are buying me drinks. I don't know how I'm getting them from people, because I'm actually an arsehole. So I don't know why they're looking at me going, I'll buy them a drink. How it's happening, I don't know. Stellas just end up in my hand. Love life. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about romance, limerence, love, value. Let's dive into that, because it's quite emotional. So it's been 20 minutes, and why am I getting snapped by this random person? Come away. Well, I've added them, so obviously they're not random. Yeah, just put my stupid face. Anyway, I probably got the microphone today. It's probably thinking, what the fuck are you doing in your kitchen with a microphone? It's not looking too good. Let's just have a moment of Silence. Okay, moment of silence over. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Actually, it's been a really crazy emotional roller coaster. I can't even explain it, because if these people see this or hear this, it's gonna sound crazy. No, not it. Me. I'm gonna sound crazy because I'm the one that I'm putting all my fucking eggs in one basket every single time. I just spilled ash all over the fucking table. Great. This is not okay. This is not okay. Should I have a coffee? I think I should. Let me make a coffee. Come on. Wait. I don't know if I want to make it with you or if I just pause. I'm going to pause it. I'll pause it. Okay, we have the coffee nicely situated. I just want to talk about this clutter. That needs to go in the clear bin bag or whatever it is. My lovely kettle, my coffee, my tea bags. We've run out of tea bags, so that's why I'm having coffee. You'd usually be having tea. Sugar, whatever the fuck that is. My little tea making station. Water bottle. No. Toaster. Air fryer. Cherry cake that I made, put it inside one of them, and then KitchenAid. That's it. Love life. Oh man, what a rodeo. So where do we even begin? I had a thing with a girl. Why is there a fly in this room? I had a thing with a girl. It was going great, fantastic, really enjoyed it, loved the little dynamic we had going on. It was kind of like a weekend lover sort of thing. And I thought, and this person had been in my past before, what the fuck is that? That needs to go away. He needs to get out of here. Yeah, really liked her, cool. We kind of had like picked up kind of where we left off, because she was from a few years ago. And then I go ahead and meet a guy in the club while I was out with her. Ooh. And my body had a reaction. Me and this guy talking for 5 months now. When I tell you how crazy my brain had gone, I mean, I was fucking, actually looking back retrospectively, I've been crazy. Not crazy, like I'm normal. I'm completely normal. But the things I'd be doing, like obviously the basic tracking the snap score, or tracking where I am in the best friends list. Then I knew there was a problem when my mood would be determined on whether or not I'd get a snap back. And it's inescapable. It's absolutely inescapable. And obviously I'm 19, so I call it my 19 theory. But mind you, relationships, all this sort of thing with anyone, it's fun. He's getting cocky because now he's on the fucking wire. If he climbs on my phone, I swear to God, I'm going to kill it. Don't you dare. Get out of here. Go to a different room. Oh, Steam. I thought that was Anyway, yeah, because my mood is now dependent on whether or not I get a snapback. This is crazy. This is horrible. But it was so good because like when I would see him, obviously I had to break things off with the weekend lover. Not break things off. She was actually fucking brilliant. I think she just thought as well the same thing as me. Kind of like, oh, let's just have a kiss every now and then, have a dance or whatever. Keep it like that. And then I thought, okay, I kind of got to stop that because I'm kind of getting quite serious about this guy. Unrequited love, well, not unrequited love, because it was absolutely reciprocated. I'm not stupid enough to, not that anyone's stupid for doing this at all, by the way. I'm a little bit more aware of putting my eggs in one basket. Is that making sense? No, it's not making sense. As in, I wouldn't have been so involved if I had actually genuinely thought it was not reciprocated at all, because it was in some aspects. Sorry, I just knocked the mic. But and I'm still going through it. I'm still going through the heartbreak, and it was really, really good. But I found out like 3 days ago, long distance because of unis, it's not going to work out, if that makes sense. Now, he was really, really apologetic, and I was saying, don't apologise, because I acknowledge what he is saying. If that is not for him if he does not want to indulge in that. In what world, who am I to say you need to? He owes nothing to me. Does that make sense? So I was kind of like, don't apologise. Heartbreaking for me, because I really was quite like, we could have been so good. We could have. But I have to accept that actually, if that's a concern for him, then he shouldn't have to not make compromises. He shouldn't have to force himself to do something like that, and that's completely fair enough, and I acknowledge that, and that's fine. And so I've kind of just left it. I'm not heartbroken. What I mean is, I've kind of done this to myself a little bit, because yes, it was reciprocated, yes, it was fun, yes, it was really good at times, it was really, really good. I don't know really too much about his past experiences, but mine are so far and few between. So when they do happen, they're like, my emotions and my feelings are so heightened, so heightened. And that leads me, and it's, like I say, a victim of my own thoughts and my own processes and whatever. I get myself wrapped up, so then I end up feeling so much more disappointed in the end. But I think what exacerbates it is probably because I saw this TikTok, actually. It said, I'm a failed narcissist, and I love that. I feel like that encapsulates me. Because, like, I don't have a low self-esteem. I know it sounds fucking stupid, and I hate, actually, we should be able to say things like this. A lot of the time, people, when you say that, like, you're good at something, it feels egotistical, but we shouldn't have to feel like that. We shouldn't feel that burden. It's just appreciating that we are good at something, and that's good to have self-confidence. Obviously, if you turn around and go, everyone else is so fucking ugly, I'm the best person in the whole wide world, I'm going to take no accountability for my actions, and I'm not responsible for any hurt or harm that other people feel because of me. Wow, no stuttering, by the way. Then you're a cunt. But I hopefully don't do that. So I don't think I'm ugly, if that means. I don't think I'm gorgeous or anything like that. I just don't have any worries about how I look. I don't have any worries really about my body. I think about my size a lot, sometimes probably a little bit too much, but I clock it right there and then I say I need to stop. I don't feel bad about my personality or my sense of humour or anything like that. Seldom do I change it for someone else. I noticed I was almost doing that at the start when I started talking to this guy, and then I thought, hold on, do not, because then that's overstepping a boundary of mine. I should not be doing that, full stop. Anything that I have with anyone, I want it to be completely authentic. I do not want to have to fucking fake it or anything like that. I had one girl say to me in college, she said, I'll never forget it, because we fancied each other at the start of college, big time. Then she went off and got a boyfriend, and in the second year, I don't think she meant anything by it, but in the second year she went, Connor, if you didn't act so gay, maybe you'd have a girlfriend by now. And I thought to myself, right there and then I told her, fuck off. I tell her what fucking acts. If they don't like it, they can fuck off, which is right, which is true. You do what you want to do, and if they don't like it, fuck off. Obviously you make compromises as and when, but I mean, on the deeper meaning of that, why would I put on a front, or why would I change how I am acting for someone that is so stupid it's unbelievable? Because then you've got to keep that up for the entirety of the relationship. Could you imagine me walking around? I find a really beautiful girl and I think she's absolutely lovely. I walk up to her and go, yeah, you alright, girl? How you doing? Yeah, you alright? Oh, sweet. Yeah, can I take you out for a drink or something like that? Yeah, oh, fucking hell, man. Yeah. No, I've got to say, you're a gorgeous looking girl. And then what? Okay, I keep that up for 3 years. We get married, right? And then 4 years after we get married, we're sitting on the table and I go, oh, fucking hell, what a lovely cup of tea that was. And she hears that. Oh, sorry, darling, don't know what happened. No, I am not bullshitting for the rest of my life, because that's what I'm doing. I'm dating to marry, by the way, because I'm thinking lifelong partner. I know that's very naive, but it doesn't matter. I'm allowed to be naive. I'm young. Yeah, why would I do that to myself? So no, why don't I just do what I'm doing now? And if they like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Do you know what I'm saying? So where was I going with this? Yeah, that was a kind of a big issue. I thought, she didn't mean anything by it. But it made me think, and then it made me feel quite confident that I had that response. I thought, okay, no, that's a good way to think about it, Connor. And I encourage everyone to do exactly that. But anyway, with this whole situation, the second I got told, I thought, no, better late than ever. Thank you for telling me. I thanked him for communicating that with me, because that's fair enough. Obviously, I would have liked it to have continued. I would have liked to have tried to make some compromises or whatever. But if he doesn't want to, then he doesn't have to. That doesn't invalidate my feelings. Obviously, I'm allowed to be upset about it and heartbroken about it. But, you know, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter as much as because I'm going crazy about it. I'm thinking, oh my fucking God, I'm so, not depressed, I'm just quite upset, because it's just guttural, actually. I don't know if there's another way to put it. But number one, I know that in 3-4 months, probably less than that, to be honest, I was just trying to long shot it. I'll be fine. I won't give a shit. I hope. They probably will stick with me. But, you know, and I've learned quite a few things over this period of talking that we had. And he's a friend now, is what I'd say, 110%. So it's nice to have someone extra added onto the roster. Do you know what I mean? Where was I going with this? Yeah, so when I got told the news, I was absolutely distraught, because I was also drunk, which wasn't very good. It was on a night out. He apologised for saying it on a night out. I said, no, doesn't matter. Don't you worry about it. You say it whenever you fucking want. Which was kind, because he was doing the bare minimum, which was, you know, making sure I was all right. And then I got in the car with my sister, because she was driving us home, and we analysed it. We analysed it all, broke it down, processed it all in the 20-minute car drive to get home. And then once I was home, I thought, okay, that's fine. I've made sense of all of that. I woke up the next day and I thought, then why do I still feel shitty? And I thought to myself, because Connor, you've given yourself 20 minutes, and it's not something that you can brush off and you can just tank or whatever. You can feel shitty about it. You're allowed to feel shitty about it. And as much as okay, cool, you've done all the processing part of it, as in the analysing it, that's fine. But still give yourself the time to, oh, my cigs are getting so good. I can actually roll so well now. What's going on? I've been on a fucking streak with it. Obviously, I make a mess, but still, they're coming out absolutely perfect. Oh, yes. I've got tobacco all over my fingers, by the way. Yeah, I've still got to give myself time to think about that and feel shitty about that. It's all part of the process. Ugh, I hate it because it makes me cringe. But then I also thought to myself, and now, guys, this is a brain fart, but genuinely, this is just me talking out my arse. I also thought to myself, okay, because we need to backtrack. Part of the reason I don't indulge, that was an internal noise there. Part of the reason I don't indulge in relationships as such, is because I can't really stand it, to be honest with you. I do really enjoy being on my own, like a lot. I love it, being with my thoughts, just sitting by myself. I find myself really funny. I find myself really interesting, and I don't need anyone. What I mean is, I couldn't deal with a good morning text. I couldn't deal with a good night text, because that would fuck me off. Yes, I know it's the morning, thank you. Fuck off. I want to wake up and sort myself out because I look like shit. I couldn't really deal with, can you imagine you have a long fucking day, you've been at work, I'm sitting on the fucking A120 packed with traffic, by the way, backed all the way up. I'm hot, I'm bothered, I've had a long fucking day. I get in the door, I've got a bag on my shoulder and I'm chucked it on the floor. I'm like, oh fucking hell, I'm sweating and I'm hot and I'm dirty. And then I walk into my room, I just want to slump on my bed. Who do I see? Some other person laying in my bed, waiting for me to come cuddle them and give them my energy. And I just think, fuck that. Fuck that. Probably because I haven't met someone that I want to do that with. This guy was probably the closest I thought about it. I thought I'd actually quite like that. And also, like, laying on a bed. I've got a single bed for a reason. If I had a girl or a guy putting their head on my shoulder, get off. Get off. Get off. why are you here? I'm hot and I'm bothered. Please get the I get so stressed out. But then I thought to myself, okay, like I said with this guy, I'd quite like that. I'd quite like that. And I think because my perspective has kind of been, I've been shown this other side, I've now attributed so much more value to this relationship. And that's why it was so disappointing when it didn't work, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And I think as well, because we haven't got the pleasure of the benefit of hindsight, as in my age right now, 19, people always say to me, it will get better, you will find someone, this happens, blah, blah, blah. And I can't see that because it hasn't happened. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there thinking, oh, that was my last one. That's it. It's never happening again. Which is wrong, because it most likely will. And if it doesn't, then fucking c'est la vie. Do you know what I mean? As the French say. What does that mean? Thanks. Well, no, such is life. Oh, that's lovely, that. Fucking hell. Yeah, I find it all quite bizarre. And as I say as well, looking at my position now, I wouldn't have been able to give the time, give the money. As I know money's not important, but it is. Yeah, I can't really cover much of myself. I can't even eat. I can't even breathe without worrying. I'm blowing it back out because I don't want to get taxed, and you know what I mean. So wrong time for me anyway. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Everything happened for a reason. No, it doesn't. Also, them fucking tarot card bitches that are on TikTok, get the fuck off. Okay, think of someone. Yeah, maybe we need to think of someone. And they're chucking the fucking cards out. That's going to be the king of dildos, or the three of dildos, yeah. And the knight of vagina cups. No, the three of vagina cups and the knight of dildos. And Lady Muff. What? Okay, this person's going to text you back within the next 72 hours. They're thinking a lot about you. This is probably a person you've recently met. Guys, you're saying the most vaguest. They might as well be going, has this person got 2 eyes? Has this person got 4 limbs on their torso? Their arms and legs, maybe? Brava. Get out. But anyway, it feeds my delusions. So I'm sitting there going, oh, he's going to text me back. Oh, fuck off. So bad. They need to stop. They're always so jolly and cheerful. Go, you don't fucking know me. And also, why is my reading the same as 64,000 other people that have liked your TikTok? Get off. Oh, it makes me piss myself. Oh, I don't even know what's going on right now. Am I depressed? Because it's not even like, no, I'm not depressed. It's the waiting and the patience that I have had for so fucking long. I mean, seriously, so long. I never really dabbled in relationships and love life and romance. It never really stood out to me as something that I necessarily had to do. I've always kind of backed off from partying and drinking. It's only a recent thing, really. As I turned 18, I've come out drinking more. I never really wanted to go out with anyone because I thought, no, I better stay in and study. I embarrass myself just saying it. Because I've always focused on it. When I did my GCSEs, I always focused in school, blah, blah, blah. And that's not to say it's wrong for doing that. If you're doing that, very well done. People will say you're missing out on life and things like that, and it gets my tits when they say that because they haven't got a fucking clue. I mean, it's no one. You can't say anything. We can't say to them that they're wrong for not studying. If they don't want to study, they don't have to fucking study. Just let people crack on with what they want to do. I mean, I've had fun and I've enjoyed what I've lived for the past 19 years. I've had fucking tons of fun. And I feel fulfilled, so it doesn't fucking matter what anyone else says about it. But what I mean is I've never really indulged in these sorts of things, and all I have found over the past 19 years, and as I say, I'm in a much better position than a lot of other people, and that is a good point to make, but it also does not invalidate my struggles or my things. You know, when they say when you're at the table eating and you leave your food, you go, oh fucking hell. Oh no, you go, I'm hungry, and people will go, there are people starving in Africa. Right, you're absolutely correct, and my situation is nowhere near as dire as theirs, but it doesn't get rid of the fact that I am still really hungry. It's a good point to make. Anyway, so what I find is I've spent all this time studying, but working hard. I have been working. I have to give myself credit where it's due. I've worked fucking hard. And oftentimes you look around, don't you? We all do it, and we go, "Oh, they're going on holiday here. I can't afford to do that." Or they're posting this on their Instagram, right? And then people go, "Yeah, but Instagram lies. Fuck off. I'm not interested if it's not their actual life. I don't fucking care." The point is, they're clearly doing stuff because they've got stuff to post about. I haven't. I post my going on holiday, and it's my back garden. Me on my back garden, in my back garden, and that's a holiday that I need. Who gives a shit? I'll go out there right now. But I'll think about that, and I'll think about like, okay, right, I'll work hard. So once I finish my GCSEs, this is great. It might start. Is my dog okay? I don't know. I'll do my GCSEs so I can unlock this, like the way to get out of it, if it makes sense, like start earning money or whatever, and not have to struggle with that aspect of life. Come out of that, had my fun, but nothing really kind of changed. Then I thought, okay, no, it's fine. College, I'll sweat out college so I can get my A levels. Then I can start, getting really good jobs. I'll start doing this, working, earning money, blah, blah. And then I come out of A levels and I go through stuff. I lose my nan, God rest her soul. Sorry, I don't know. I'm not. It's not funny. It's just the way I said it. And obviously, I went through a lot of stuff in secondary school. A lot of arguments in the households and failing marriages, dare I say. In primary school, it was really bad when we lived in the women's refuge. But anyway, I've waited and I've waited and I've waited. I really have waited. And now I've come out of college and I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting shouted at in a pub that I'm getting £10 an hour to be at. And it's not, they haven't got enough shifts there or whatever, so I can actually afford things. Cool, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll wait. I'll do university and I'll get my degree, and then when I come out of my degree I can start earning proper money at a proper job. And now all of a sudden, because I've been not let down, I know I shouldn't expect anything, no one should expect anything, but it gets to a point where you think, hold on, when is it my turn to kind of have fun? And now I think, oh, I'm going to finish my degree, it's going to be exactly the fucking same. A lot of people have been telling me otherwise, and I hope to death they're right, but it's the same thing with this romance thing. I've waited and I have not added loads of people on Quick Ad and had loads of relationships in the past with random people for the sake of it, because rather than finding someone you find attractive and then texting on Snapchat and being like, oh, blah, blah, and then dating them, I just think, and actually being in a relationship, I think that to me it feels forced. The only two people that I've had something with, this guy and that girl, was because I genuinely had a reaction when I saw it, and I was like, whoa. And I still remember how I felt when I first met them and how talking to them felt, and that to me is so important. So for me, I won't be going on Quick Ad. I won't be, to get over someone you have to get under someone. I won't be going out to the club to try and pull anyone or anything like that, because that feels, is futile the word? It doesn't feel right. I will wait until the next person comes along that gives me that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Okay, fine. Sorry, but what I was saying was, so with this thing, and obviously with my relationship with this guy, not ending, but just not working out. And when I say relationship, I don't mean like together, I mean talking stage, I mean like getting to know each other sort of thing, and then going, no, it's not really going to work. Is because I think to myself, I fucking waited so long, and all these other ugly twats. I'm crashing out, and I'm crashing out, and I'm getting envious, and that's wrong. All these other people. Why is the light not working? Okay. Hello. That's it. All these other people are getting it, and I'm not. Of course, my one fails. I should expect to fail. And this is what I was saying about the failed narcissism. It's like, I think I've got all these really good traits, and I think quite, not highly of myself, but I think, okay, I'm not like a shit, I'm not a horrible person or anything like that. And I think about how I could be so successful, but every time I feel like I actually fail or I get disappointed. Now I expect it. Now I definitely expect it, which is wrong, and I shouldn't. But then I think, is this what life's going to be like? Because it's only going to get worse. Of course it's only going to get worse. I'm going to have to, so many more responsibilities that come in my way, and I think actually this is going to, I am going to have to expect to be disappointed and then have to come back again, if that makes sense. So even after this, I have to expect myself to build myself up again, and then the next thing knock me down. I have to wait for it. But what's important is that I place importance on both the failing part, but also the getting as close as I did. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to have a positive spin on it so I don't kill myself. Yeah. To be honest, that's what I've got to say on that. Limerence and love. Limerence is like the worst possible thing. This will be my last topic, my last talking point. Let me finish my cigarette. Limerence is dangerous because it's not necessarily the person that you like, it's the idea. This person might have one positive thing that has opened your eyes to something or made you realise something about yourself, and then obviously because you've unlocked that portion of yourself, now there is an inherent value placed on that person because they are now attached to that, if that makes sense. And then you spiral because you start imagining things and you make these fake, false stories that aren't real, and you come up with these expectations and fantasies that when they aren't met in real life or matched in real life, that's when you feel let down and then you spiral. So obviously when you go through limerence, you need to look at what things you're actually getting from this person. You need to be objective with it, and you need to treat it like it's a science. Take only the data you're given, not what you have come up with in your head. That's my best way of coping with it, I think. It's also distracting yourself. You have to be egotistical. You have to like think of your own value and importance. Is so cringe that I'm even talking about this, but because I just find it all so cringy. I find everything about love cringe. Ugh. Fucking rom-coms, get out of here. And that's one thing I can't do. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are like 2 rom-coms I actually was like, oh, I quite like that. All right, fine, that was quite cheesy, but I just can't because I find it so cringe. I can't. It's just fucking shit. I want to wake up next to someone and be like, all right, put the fucking kettle on, and that's it. Is that too much to ask for? Apparently so. Anyway, I don't know when the next one of this is going to come out. Probably when I found something new to talk about, because right now we're in a bit of a stale position. And I think I need to do some reading because I'd like to become a little bit more, not knowledgeable. Like I say, I'm young, so I am naive. I'm allowed to be naive. We can be delusional together. I want to try and, I don't know, just talk about stuff. It's good because it works for me. I don't know what else gives a shit, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going to give myself a week to get over this. If I don't, then who gives a shit? If I do, then who gives a shit? Oh, I don't care. Anyway, that's been it. I've been me. I hope you've hated this. If you are still listening, if you actually are, I'm fucking shocked out of my mind because I'm a boring twat. I'm going to finish my coffee, probably have another cigarette, go to bed, because what time is it? It's not even 12 o'clock. This is an early one. The last one I did was like 4 in the morning. Fucking hell, I've probably woken everyone up. Anyway, yeah, have so much fun, guys. If you do know me in real life, you don't. This is AI, this is not real. This is not real, by the way. I need to do something now. I need to edit me like fire coming out of my hands so people think it's not me. No, I'm joking. I don't give a shit what I say and what people know about my life. I don't care. Because it's not serious, and when I die, no one's going to give a shit anyway. Right now, I've got to awkwardly press this. That fly is going to get hurt. I'm going to kill that before I go to bed. Anyway, I'll see you later, guys.